What's up guys, welcome back to the poker vlog. This is session number 15, heading back to the Bellagio for some 5-10 no limit. If you're new here, hello, welcome to the channel. We are on a winning streak, looking for number 15 today. Let's get in there and check it out. Alright, there are 5-5-10s going, which is crazy. On a Wednesday afternoon, we pick up the 1500 max buy-in. On my first button, we pick up 3-5 suited. Under the gun opens for 30, +1 and the cutoff call, so I make the call. We head 4 ways to a flop of King 4-6 rainbow. All 3 players check to me. Normally I'm betting on this rainbow board with an open-ended straight draw, but decide to take a free one here in position in case someone is setting the trap. Turn pairs the board with another 6. All 3 players check again, so I'll take another free card with the board being paired. We nail the straight on the river with a deuce of clubs. It's checked over to me, and I put out a half pot size bet and get 1 caller, and of course we're always good here. Nice to pick up that first pot. About 10 minutes later we pick up pocket kings. We are 6-handed and under the gun opens for 30. I'm next to act and I make the 3-bet to 90. It's folded back to him and he makes the call. Heads up to a flop of 6-6 deuce with 2 diamonds. Checks it over to me. Sometimes I'll check back here, but I don't have any diamonds and we don't want to let him hit a free ace if he has a hand like ace queen or ace jack. He'll probably see one more card with ace high or some medium pocket pairs. I bet 60 and he makes the laydown. Just a few hands later we pick up ace queen from the big blind. It's folded to the button who raises to 30. The small blind calls and it's to me. The button's range will be so wide here that I like to 3-bet, especially short-handed. I make it 140 to play. Back to the button who lays it down, but the small blind sticks around. He's the same player I just had the kings against. So we go heads up to a flop of 7-7 deuce rainbow. He checks it to me, and I'll mix in a small bet here or just checking back, just as I would with an overpair. I elect to check back just for pot control. Turn is a 4 of spades, putting out a possible flush draw now. He likes that card and fires out a bet of 140. So I start to think about what he is most likely holding to just call a raise with from the small blind. Probably some suited Broadway cards, suited aces, or small pocket pairs. I feel like ace high is probably still good at the moment, so I make the call. We improve our hand on the river with a queen of hearts, so we have top pair, top kicker. I thought I was going to have to make a hero call with an ace high on the river. This will make our decision much easier. He only takes a few seconds to think before sliding out a bet of 400. We have a pretty easy decision here if I was going to call with ace high, so... As poker players, that's one of our favorite things to hear. I miss, they muck their hand face down, we don't have to show, so we scoop a big one there with 1 pair. Nice play by him. It would have been more interesting, obviously, if we don't hit that queen there and a blank hits the river, see if I can make the same call. But at least our instinct was right to continue there on the turn with ace high. 30 minutes later, I pick up ace queen again from +2. I raise it to 30. The cutoff calls and the button 3-bets to 130. It's folded back to me. I think I can 4-bet here sometimes depending on the player. I haven't seen any action from this opponent yet, so I decide to just flat call, and that brings in the cutoff as well. So we had 3 ways to a flop of ace jack 8 all hearts. So we have top pair but no flush draw. I check, next player checks, and it's to the original raiser. He takes a second to look at his cards and checks back. Unless he's putting on a good show, it felt like he didn't have any hearts under there. The turn is a 6 of hearts. I might have the best hand here, and I feel like I only have the middle opponent to worry about. Maybe he doesn't have a heart either. I also know that leading out into 2 players will appear to be pretty strong, so I put out a bet of 160 and both players make the laydown. So it's likely we just had the best hand, but had I checked there, I probably lose. 45 minutes and some great action goes by before picking up king queen of clubs from the cutoff. Hijack raises to 30. I'd normally 3-bet here, but he only has about 500 remaining and he hasn't been running well, which means he'll likely be jamming any ace high or pocket pair if I 3-bet, so I'm behind both of those hands, so I make the call. Button and big blind calls as well, and we go 4 ways to a flop of Queen, Jack, 3, Rainbow. It's check to me, and I bet 80 for value. Button folds, big blind calls, and the pre-flop raiser folds. Heads up to a 4 of diamonds on the turn. He checks to me again. That card shouldn't have changed much, so still betting for value against his worst kings and jacks. I bet 160, and he makes the call. River, another brick, 6 of clubs. He checks. I feel pretty safe. No straights or flushes get there now, so I'm trying to figure out sizing. I land on a bet of 200 thinking he'll have to pay off with any king and possibly look me up with a jack. He actually goes into the tank for about 45 seconds and ends up making a good laydown. Looks like he was thinking about calling light with a jack.
Sorry.
Always a little awkward there when I'm trying to record the board. Don't forget your dealers. Another half hour goes by and the game went from good to terrible. 2 players got stacked twice by the same opponent. He's up about $6,000 and all the dead money is gone. Next I pick up 8-9 of spades under the gun. We're 6-handed again. I open for 30. The next player is a new player and he 3-bets to 100. Everyone folds and it's back to me. 70 more sounds reasonable, so I make the call. Heads up to a flop of 7-3-4 with 2 spades. So we have 2 overs and a flush draw. I check it over to him, and he continues for 100. I debate raising it right here to maybe take it down, but I just feel like he'll know it's a flush draw. I'm putting him on a pretty tight range of ace-king or ace-queen suited, possibly pocket pair of 10s or better since I raise it under the gun, and when you get 3-bet from the next opponent, there's 4 other players behind us, so his range should be a little bit tighter here. So I just call, and we see a 6 on the turn, which is a great card giving us an open-ended straight draw now. It's also a great card to put in a semi-bluff. I like a bet here because I should get all the big aces to fold, and I put overpairs in a tough spot. If he does have an overpair, he'll probably just call my bet, and I could improve on the river. So I put out a bet of 250 and he folds instantly. This has been one of the smoothest sessions yet. Last week we battled for 9 hours, picked up 87 bucks. Heading to the last hand here, we are up about 1,500, so thinking about calling it a night with the game being so bad. An orbit later goes by and I'm in the small blind with ace-9 of hearts. Cutoff raises to 30, button calls, and it's to me. I just call, which is probably the worst play. I'm usually 3-betting here or folding, but the button only has about 450 behind, so I just call and we go 3 ways to a flop of Jack 10-7 with 1 heart. So we got a gutter ball and backdoor flush draw. I check and it checks through. Turn is an ace of spades, giving us top pair now. I lead out for 40 to see where we're at. Both opponents make the call. I don't think either of them have king-queen after checking the flop in position, so I feel like we're in the lead for now. River is the worst card possible, 9 of spades, gives us 2 pair but completes the flush and single straights with an 8. I check, cutoff bets 110, button calls, and we have an easy laydown here. The cutoff shows Jack 8 of spades for the flush, button doesn't show, so that's going to wrap it up for this session. Short and sweet. We pick up $1,467 today. We'll see you at the end of the video.
Alright guys, that's it. I appreciate you checking out episode number 15. Kind of a mini vlog today. Didn't have a ton of hands. I only played for 2.5 hours. I think I showed you every single hand but one. I folded ace-jack pre-flop, 1 hand to a 3-bet. That was it. Other than that, you saw every single hand. The game was great at the beginning, then got really bad, so after I was up about 1,500, just decided to call it a day. I think part of that reason was last week was such a battle for 9 hours and we only made 87 bucks. Sometimes it feels nice to get in there and get a nice, smooth, easy session. Did everything I needed to do and got a video out of it. As always, I appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Stay to the end for a trick shot, and let's keep this heater going into Texas next week. Heading there Wednesday, March 3rd for that 1.5 million guaranteed and some cash games. So really looking forward to that, seeing Andrew and Brad and all the other guys. Should be a great time. If you really enjoy the content, hit that notification bell because I'm going to try to start posting a second video on Wednesday afternoons starting in March. So probably after I come back from Texas, around March 7th. I'm going to try to start knocking those out. I just got out of my day job pool business, so looking to play some more poker at least a couple times a week. Try to get a couple videos a week out there for you poker lovers. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was entertaining and brought you some value, and we'll see you next Sunday for sure. Have a good one.